Question I have, how do I defeat the minimum wage argument about continuing to raise it as they have done just previously in California?
The people who are suggesting minimum wage don't know anything about business or economics, and minimum wage invariably minimum wage is supposed to be an economic decision, but it's predicated largely on a moral vision of the world that is false, and that is that somewhere these business people who are engaged in competition with each other with ever-shrinking profit margins, somewhere the McDonald's owner in his back room has a giant Scrooge McDuck money bin filled with gold, and each night he goes there and he just swims around in it, right? And he's preventing all of his hard laborers who are flipping burgers from earning their rightful $200,000 a year, and so we need a minimum wage. The point, the problem with minimum wage, and the reason it's economically ignorant, is because competition in wages leads to lower wages, right? That's what it does. Just as competition in products leads to lower prices for the products. You artificially increasing the price of labor, all that does is it cuts out the profit margin, and it means that somebody is going to have to be fired, right? This is every time minimum wage is tried, there is, if you get rid of the confounds, there is a net loss in employment because. As we all know, if you only have $30 to spend on your employees, and right now you're paying them each $10 a head, if you'd raise that to $15 a head, you have to lay somebody off, right? Somebody has to get fired. Beyond that, it's pushing up the unemployment rate, particularly among the people who need those part-time jobs and those low-wage jobs. The people who disproportionately staff part-time and low-wage jobs are young minority folks, right? And those people, their unemployment rate is soaring right now because if I'm going to pay $15 an hour for a burger flipper, he also better be able to recite cons. I mean, he better have another skill set, right? Because it turns out that anybody with a functioning radial bone and a prefrontal cortex can flip a burger. It's not that hard a job, right? It's an entry-level job, which isn't to say it's not. It is honorable to work, but let's not pretend that you're curing cancer here, right? Which is the reason why people who actually try to cure cancer get paid more. So the idea of minimum wage is foolish. The easiest way to debunk this is to say, okay, you say it should be a $15 minimum wage. I'll agree with you. It should be. I say it should be a $2,000 minimum wage, $2,000 an hour. Why not? These people have money in the back room, right? They've got that Scrooge McDuck money bin. We know that they're gypping people. We know that they've got this money hanging around. Where are you coming up with this $15 an hour number? I mean, is it straight from your colon, or does it pass through the small intestine first? Like what? You know, the problem with the minimum wage is that for the left, every argument is a moral argument, not an economic argument, so you have to take the morality of the argument away. It is beyond that, there is a fundamental argument here. It is fundamentally immoral for you to come in and tell somebody that they are not allowed to make a free and binding contract. Okay, no one is being chained to their grill. If somebody doesn't want to work for that wage, they can leave. Right? And who are you to tell the 17-year-old black kid who wants to work for $7.50 an hour that he is forbidden by law from taking a job at $7.50 an hour? Who are you to do that? Right? This makes you a totalitarian. It's a totalitarian rule. So that's the way I would argue against it.
Thank you, sir.